So as you know, the situation at Mass and Cass is still a challenge for your administration. The city comes in, removes tents, they're back what feels like a day or so later. You've called for the state to help in addressing this. How receptive has Governor Healey been? And if she is receptive, where's the help?
I've met recently with a number of leaders in the state about this particular issue and how Boston ends up being a hub for residents who are coming in from all over the state and even beyond, whether it is individuals who are seeking services at Mass and Cass or migrant families. And so as we set up these systems, it's really important to have the engagement across the entire state. We're seeing progress in terms of individuals who are able to be connected with housing and supports, services and treatment have a very, very different outcome than we saw several years ago in terms of quickly moving into permanent housing. However, more people continue to come to seek those services, and again, we need to have a strong partnership so that Boston can help triage, but there's resources everywhere.
Has the governor been receptive? Has she been receptive?
Yes, the governor and lieutenant governor both, and I've sat down personally with them to discuss this. We're exploring lots of ways that we can collaborate on a number of different housing issues.
What about reopening Long Island? Is that still out there on the horizon? Mayor Walsh wanted to do it, but Quincy pushed back, as you know.
Yep, we are rounding the bend, I think, on the last set of permits for the ability to create that bridge and reactivate transportation to the island. This is a city-owned 250 acres of land that has some buildings which need updating and maintaining because they've fallen down a little bit, but it has the history of being an important hub for services and treatment. And so, again, this would be the ideal location for a regional recovery campus if we can get the state's
When could the bridge be open?
When could that happen?
We are, it is a hefty price tag infrastructure-wise to construct and build a bridge. I think there should continue to be conversations about whether a ferry could help ferry folks over the span of the previous bridge. That would require dock construction in partnership with Quincy as well.
Well, when could we see either of those start? Construction on a bridge or a potential beginning of ferry service? How
these
soon?
are all
these
infrastructure projects are all multiple years, no matter how accelerated a timeline is. And so we need to focus on delivering services, housing, and working with regional partners now while we pursue that.
The T is still struggling. We want to get to the T. We know that's a favorite topic of yours. Slow zone safety issues. The new general manager, Phil Ing, he has promised improvements. The stakes are high for Boston, of course. Have you had a chance to meet with him at all on this?
I have. He's been very responsive, and it's been especially comforting to see that his leadership is very hands-on. When there have been incidents, he's been right away there on scene and updating himself on how to make sure that he's as familiar with the issues as any commuter and is riding the T as well. We have a lot of work to do. The T is in all of our conversations about housing, about how we plan for the growth of the city. This is a question mark that we need to get solved.
All right, a lot of Boston mayors, of course, have been to Symphony Hall. To listen, you were the first to play. Have a look. All right, beautiful. This is from someone who also took 12 years of piano lessons, but you sat on a bench where some of the greatest piano players in the world have sat. How nervous were you?
My hands were clammy. I was trying to not let things slip. This was just a dream that I will never forget. The sound of the world's premier orchestra surrounding you. I'm just so grateful to all of the incredible musicians for tolerating and being willing to accept an amateur. But this was part of the Concert for the City that the BSO hosts, a free concert open to all that features different Boston-related composers or young performers, and they had opened Symphony Hall. Every single space before the official main stage performance was occupied by youth from our community showing off their skills, and they're an incredible community partner.
And you have a piano in your office at City Hall, right? So do you sound like that at City Hall as well? Or are the acoustics
It's usually a little
different?
bit, sometimes a little angrier playing, a little more tense.
I wish we had more time, but Mayor Wu, congratulations on that performance, and thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.